Hey guys, it's loglud from XDA. I just wanted to give you guys an update on the Ubuntu project that we've been working on for the Nook Tablet. As you know, AdamOutler has joined the crew to the extent he has a device now. He's working on getting JTAG up, but he supplied us with the instructions or the idea of how to get Ubuntu running. And this is kind of the idea that if we can get Ubuntu running, crash the background kernel in the background ROM, we can then push Ubuntu into the main ROM or something else, such as as CM7 or whatever else ROM or kernel-wise we decide to do. So, without further ado, I'd like to show you guys a little bit of what has been happening. So, as you know, or as you may see, I'm running a VNC server that's going directly into my Nook device, and you're actually seeing it update. Now, it's very slow in terms of this way just because there's an internet connection and, Android wasn't natively meant to run VNC servers. So on the right-hand side, I just have a shell, ADB shell script that's in rooted mode. So just to give you an idea, there we go. There's our shell, and there's all of our information about it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to run the sh package that has been provided by AdamOutler. Of course, I did have to make a couple modifications because it didn't exactly work, but I'm sure by the time we get this running for everybody else, or by the time we start using this in further progress, it'll be completely fixed. So we're just going to go right into the SD card, Ubuntu, and then we're going to run uboot. And if you notice, it's going to check for the variables. It's going to mount the image to the partition or to the file system, and then hopefully in a couple seconds here, it is going to give us the boot. So we now have our, now if you notice, this looks a lot like the Ubuntu shell, and that is because it actually is the Ubuntu shell. So if I do a uname-a, you'll notice that we're still running in the ARM architecture. We haven't changed architectures at all. So that means that it's actually physically running off of my Nook, which is, I know, a long stretch for some of you guys, but it actually is. So I'm going to actually give you guys an idea of how we can use this for a VNC. So I'm going to start up tight VNC server, and it's actually going to start up. It's going to boot it up onto port 1, and then on my Nook device, which you'll notice on the left screen updating, I'm going to start something called VNC Viewer, and you'll notice that I've already set it up. Unfortunately, I do have to change one thing because we're not running off of display 3. In a previous video I was working on, we were running off of display 3, but in this one we're running off of display 1, as it says right here. And so let's go ahead and hit say or done and connect. I'm going to type in my password real quick, and of course probably you're all going to see it, which I really don't care. And then I'm going to hit OK. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ubuntu. A light version of Ubuntu now is running on my Nook. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go into our terminal. And I'm going to type in the magical words uname space dash a. And now we're going to close that keyboard. Oh, and of course it didn't type it in. Let's try that one more time. And if we don't do it, we're going to do it a different way. And you'll notice we are running the ARM architecture GUI Linux. So this is Linux running off of the Nook. Now, as you notice, it's a little bit laggy as we're going to go through here as we move it in and out. So I'm going to show you guys the full connection. Not only can you connect via a Nook, But of course, if you have any other device, such as a phone or something like that, you can actually connect to that. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to VNC directly into the device. So that's the IP address of the device, and that would be the port of the port of the VNC server. And as you notice, this is our uname that we just issued. Just to go through a little bit more, we do have Firefox on here. We've got File Manager. This is Unix or Ubuntu. I mean, if I want to, I can actually do apt-get for any of you Ubuntu users, and if you notice, I get an apt-get. I can install any packages that have been ported over to the ARM architecture, meaning if there's kernel crashers, if there's anything else, we can port it over to this Ubuntu box. Now, while this is just in its infant stages, it may prove useful in using ROMs and or kernels, because we might be able to use this to crash the underlying ROMs and kernels from Android and then load new ones into it. So this is just a little bit of a preview of what we've been working on, and I wanted to let you guys know so you're not all out there in the dark. Hopefully you guys will contribute and continuing thanking or giving us the thumbs up, thanking us, and we'll continue developing for you guys. Thanks a bunch, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.